there, friends, and welcome to day 2 of my 5-day series featuring the Light of the Year stamp set and die. So yesterday I shared with you my little personal testimony, and then I talked about this new idea I had where each day this week I'm going to come on live and create a project using the same stamp set and DSP. And the stamp set is Light the Year, and we are using the Sentimental Christmas DSP. And yesterday we created this fun fold card. This is the front and then the back. And I shared with you that if you place a minimum $60 order, you will receive from me all the pre-cut pieces for all 5 projects. That's my gift to you. And if you place a $100 order, I will throw in the Drusty adhesive back gems. So without further ado, we are going to get started. I did do all the stamping and thin cutting or die cutting off camera just to save time, because I know yesterday's video was a little bit long. So we are going to begin. We're making a pop-up gift card. So we're going to begin with a 5.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, and I am using a piece of craft cardstock. This was left over from Close to My Heart, and we are going to score at the 4.5 and the 6 3/4. And then flip it over and score at 5.5. So I'll do that one more time. We are going to score at the 4.5, the 6 3/4. We're gonna flip it over and score at the 5.5. And you can do this. I use my scoreboard. You can also use your paper trimmer. And then what we're going to do is fold all the scores, and you can, it's always a good idea to use your bone folder and give them all a nice crisp fold. And then this is the way you want to fold it. So it looks like an M, or you could do the W, but you want it so that it opens up like this and you have this mechanism in the center. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do the pop-up mechanism, and then we'll decorate. So what we want to do is add glue down this edge and this edge and right here. We don't want to put any glue here because that's where the gift card is going to go. And I would probably, I don't like to do this on when I'm on the camera, but I would use some liquid glue. And this does dry clear. And then we're just going to close it like that. So I didn't get too close to the edge because I didn't want glue to seep out. So then it's going to look like that. I guess I did get a little bit of glue on my glass mat. So I am again working on my glass mat. I love this thing. I have 2 of them. I have one over here on my desk where I film, and then I also have one on my desk where I do some more creating. So we have that. Then what we are going to do, I am going to introduce 2 other products. I like to refer to these as neutral products because they go with everything. The first one is the Nested Essential Dies. I love these, and you can see I still have to put these on magnetic sheets, but there are 3 different shapes. You've got the banner shape, the rounded rectangle, and then this kind of like diamond shape. And I'm going to take the smallest diamond shape. I love how you have various sizes of each of them, and I love that it has that dotted detail. I'm going to take that smallest shape. This is why I have to put them on magnetic sheets. And I'm going to fold my card like this. Remember, you want the raised portion to go face down on your project because that's actually the blade that's going to cut it. I do have some washi tape here. And I am going to stick this, I'm kind of eyeballing it right in the center. And I'm going to get some washi tape. And just tape this down. And then pull in my die cut machine. I know this is probably like right on top of you. Put all my plates down, following the sandwich on the base plate. And just run this through lickety split. If you don't have a die cut machine yet, I highly recommend it. And I am obsessed with the Stampin' Up! One and all the dies that Stampin' Up! Offers. I think that's one of my most favorite things that Stampin' Up! Has. That and the embossing folders and the kits are my favorite. Okay, so then it's going to go like that. And then put this to the side. What I like to do is get my bone folder, or you can even use your scissors. Maybe I need my scissors. And just open up that slot. And I might even have a gift card right here. So then you can see how your gift card will fit in here. Of course, it doesn't want to go in when I want it to go in, but just like that. So then when we close it and we open it up, it pops up, hence the name. All right, so let's go ahead and do the inside. I went ahead and cut a piece of white willow. And then I have some of the DSP from the Sentimental Christmas. And this is a piece of peacock cardstock that was from Close to My Heart. I don't have the corresponding color and Stampin' Up! Colors memorized, but I will list that in the product description box below. Now, everything that I used yesterday, I am using today, in addition to the craft cardstock, which I believe the Stampin' Up! Color would be Pecan Pie. And then this peacock cardstock, which I will look up the name of that. And then the Nested Essential Dies. And then, so there is our inside. Oh, that looks a little crooked. So the dies, and then I also used a dry embossing folder for the front. So there's the inside, and you can stamp and write a message in there if you want. So let's decorate the front. So this is another pattern from that DSP. The back is that reindeer, which is where the reindeer gets tied in there. Yesterday I told you how much I love these reindeer. They're so vintagey. They remind me of the very first Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Golden Book. I gotta go in my Christmas book box and get that out and bring it on camera. FYI, little fun fact about me, I was an elementary school teacher before I became a mom. I taught second grade for 4 years, and then I actually did my master's degree in New Zealand, in Christchurch, New Zealand, where I was exposed to reading recovery. And when I came back to the States, I got trained in reading recovery and became a reading recovery teacher and a Title I reading teacher. So children's books and children's literature is another passion of mine, and I have quite a collection of children's books and Christmas books, from when my kids were little, and I still love reading them. So that's one thing I always look forward to when we get out the Christmas decorations, is we get out the Christmas books. And it's kind of ironic, all three of my children are teachers. My oldest, Tucker, is a music teacher. He's actually in charge of the music department K through 8 in a district up in Western North Carolina. And Molly is a third grade teacher and an intervention teacher this year, and she loves children books. And then Peyton, who is my ballerina, she teaches dance on the side to help make some extra money. So what you are seeing here are some of the images from the stamp set that I did say I went ahead and stamped and die cut or off camera before I came on camera. And then I also cut this piece of white willow cardstock, also known as white daisy, if you came over from close to my heart. And this particular piece is 2.5 by 4, and then I did the dovetail, and I will show you. Let's see, do I have a piece of scrap? Here's a piece of scrap. So the way I like to dovetail is I just eyeball. You could measure if you're kind of OCD or anal like that. But I just eyeball I guess I should say perfectionist. That's the appropriate word. Didn't mean to offend anybody. But you cut a slit in the center and then go from one corner up to that slit, and then the other corner up to that slit, and that is what you call, oh, and I didn't do that, I did feel it slip away from me, but that's what you call a dovetail, and 9 out of 10 times it will be perfect, especially if you're not talking. So if you notice, mine has some dry embossing. What I did is I used the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder. This is a 6x6 embossing folder. Remember the tip I tell you, the logo goes facing up. That way you will get your paper embossed. If you wanted it debossed, you'd flip it over. But I love this. You can see here how it kind of looks like a snowfall, where the snow is heavy and kind of dwindles down. Love this. And I think the camera does a pretty good job of picking up that detail. And I think it goes really nice with these snowflakes. And I love that the snowflakes are brown. So we are going to put this right here. And you know what I just thought of? I should have thought of this before when I was designing this. You could cut this exact piece. Well, I guess it would be too small because this is the largest one. That must have been why I didn't do that. And I love this shape. So that's going to go in the center. And then what we're going to do is just kind of make a grouping. The one thing I did not stamp were the candles. So we are going to do that right now. I've got my yellow ink and the blending brush that I used yesterday. And I am going to do this ahead of time. And just get some little bit of yellow where I think the flame is going to be. And I did one of the big lanterns and one of the little lanterns, and I absolutely love all that texture that you get in that stamp image. I love how that's the way the stamp comes. I'm just gonna get my small block and my candle stamp, and I'm just gonna stamp directly onto the lantern. I'm not gonna die cut it. And I'm going to use I'm using Candy Apple Red, which is equivalent to a real red in Stampin' Up! Colors. And let's see if I can do this looking through the camera. Let's hope so. Okay, not too bad. I apologize if my head is in the way. Okay, so we've got those. Cleaning my stamp and putting it back on the case. I will close my ink. So you can see here the images. I used the two lanterns and the pine cones. Here are my bows, and then these sprigs are these images right here. And then these are dies. So the die right there. And then I have my lanterns and the pine cones and the bow. So now what we're going to do is just kind of make a grouping. And this is what I was envisioning. Now, one thing I should have thought of ahead of time, I was thinking that I could use the All is Bright image. And I was going to put it right here, but I already embossed. So I don't want to do that, and you know what? It would have been pretty tight. So maybe it doesn't matter. I think maybe I'll put a gem there. We'll see. Okay, so we've got that, and then we can just kind of fill in. With the greenery. So the stamp color that I used, I actually am using Evergreen from Close to My Heart. But I listed the green color that would be equivalent with Stampin' Up! I listed it in yesterday's video. I will go back and list that again. I am slowly adding to my Stampin' Up! Collection, and at the time of this recording, which is November 12th, tomorrow there is a seasonal sale and all inks are going to be on sale, so I will add a few more. And you know what? It's called Shaded Spruce. I forgot, I have this in a spot that's from either a Paper Pumpkin or a kit I purchased. If there's stamping involved, you get a spot, and so I have them, a Stampin' Spot, I should say. So I'm getting a nice collection. There's Real Red and Shaded Spruce, which are the colors that we are using in this project. So you can see I'm just kind of making a little grouping. I don't know, the acorns might be a little too big. But I'm going to stop the camera and go ahead and adhere all this. And then we will come back and we'll stamp the inside and maybe add some gems, and then this card will be done.